INO 4800 phase 3 is going to happen in 2021 in second half, right?
I don't know. You tell me, Dr. Kim. Hello. Inovio's Q2 earnings and earnings call was released on Monday past. For me, the foundations are now laid, and Inovio are set to build something that could in all situations look to explode to triple digits come 2022. When they do get their first vaccine, INO 4800 phase 3 approval and road to commercialization begins. There were some huge Easter eggs and clear strategies that were discussed. I will be dissecting the earnings call and highlighting what for me are the critical points we as Inovians need to take away. Stay tuned for a quick update and more. Keep it simple. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a simple trader looking for WPG situations. Yes, explosive exponential potential growth. So please note, this is all for entertainment only. No more plugging. Let's start drilling. Inovio released Q2 earnings and they were, in my opinion, absolutely huge. So let's drill straight into the highlights of the earnings call that I believe provided us investors with a clear picture of what is in the pipeline.
Inovio and our partner Vaccine received regulatory allowance in China for 2 clinical trials investigating heterologous boosting with INO 4800. These trials, which are being done through trial sponsor Vaccine, working together with Sinovac, will evaluate the safety, tolerability, and immunogenicity of heterologous prime boost sequential immunizations using INO 4800 and CoronaVac, an inactivated COVID-19 vaccine developed by Sinovac and validated by the World Health Organization for emergency use.
Now this is critical. As Kimmy Boy just said, CoronaVac, produced by Sinovac, has been granted EUA by the boys at the WHO, World Health Organization. Sinovac recently also secured a huge deal with COVAX for the supply of up to 380 million doses. If INO 4800 working with CoronaVac produces something even more potent and stronger, then expect the orders to go through the roof.
We're going through the roof.
Both trials, which will be conducted in China, are anticipated to begin this fall and will involve healthy adult subjects 18 years of age or older. With the increased challenge of the highly contagious Delta variant and other variants of concerns around the world, our work with the vaccine and Sinovac is more important than ever. If approved, we believe INO 4800 will be well positioned.
Hold on. If approved? Come on, Kimmy Boy.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
To serve the vaccine needs of the global community as both a primary and a booster vaccine due to its tolerability, balanced cross-reactive immune responses, and strong thermal stability profile.
Blah, 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 blah. Don't bother, I've heard it all before.
I need some good news.
Inovio, along with the vaccine and Sinovac, recently completed cross-prime boost preclinical animal test that evaluated the immune boosting abilities of INO 4800 and CoronaVac. Results demonstrated that the prime boost strategy can stimulate high level of antigen-specific binding antibodies, neutralizing antibodies by both live virus neutralization assay and an ACE receptor blocking assay, as well as antigen-specific T-cell immune responses.
Holy cow.
I would like to reiterate Inovio's focus on starting and executing our global Innovate Phase 3 trials in countries outside the US. More specifically, our primary focus is getting this trial initiated next month to enroll healthy men and non-pregnant women 18 years and older.
Just get on with it.
Across several countries, concentrating on Latin America, Asia, in addition to expanding the trial to Africa. As it relates to the United States, Inovio does not plan on enrolling any subjects in the US for the Innovate Phase 3 trial. We will engage the FDA on a formal lifting of the partial clinical hold as a part of our long-term plan to pursue a BLA approval in the US once INO 4800 efficacy is demonstrated in the global Innovate Phase 3 trial.
In other words, we ain't gonna care about the US Our focus is no longer in the US, and the FDA can,
Write it down and shove it up your ass.
as there's bigger fish in the sea, and if the US wants it in the future,
Then pay me.
The company released results showing that INO 4800 provided broad cross-reactive immune responses in humans against VOC. In particular, the study showed that T-cell responses generated by INO 4800 vaccination were fully maintained against the alpha, beta, and gamma variants when compared to the T-cell responses to the original wild-type strain. INO 4800 vaccination was also found to maintain a similar level of T-cell responses against the Delta variant when compared to the T-cell responses to the original wild-type strain. We're extremely focused on advancing INO 4800 through phase 3 efficacy trials, while in parallel also developing our second-generation pan-COVID DNA vaccine candidate, INO 4802.
Jesus, I ain't saying it's a bad thing to diversify, but can we please get INO 4800 done?
Let's focus, please.
In parallel to the INO 4800 efforts outlined earlier in the call, we're also developing a second-generation pan-COVID vaccine candidate, INO 4802. While other companies have developed match strains, INO 4802 is our strategy against current and future variants of concern.
I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
Our pursuit of a MERS vaccine is funded by a previously announced $56 million grant from CEPI, under which Inovio will develop vaccine candidates through phase 2 against MERS, as well as Lassa fever. It remains Inovio's and CEPI's goal to make a stockpile of MERS vaccines available for emergency use following successful completion of phase 2 clinical testing.
Wow, did you get that? Did Kate just say that? They will stockpile this vaccine for emergency use after their successful phase 2.
How is that even possible?
Okay, what about the financials? Talk to me.
We ended the second quarter with $443.7 million in cash equivalents, and short-term investment, providing us with multiple years of sufficient capital to support existing activities and programs.
That's all I need to know on the financial side.
The increase in R&D expenses was primarily attributable to manufacturing scale-up activity for INO 4800. These INO 4800 activities included the acquisition and installation of manufacturing equipment, drug manufacturing, outside services, and clinical study expense. Other increases included engineering services and fenced equipment related to our Selectra 3PSP device array automation project. Also, employee and contractor compensation.
This is very good news, as it clearly shows they're ramping up INO 4800.
INO 4800 phase 3 is going to happen in 2021 in second half, right? So we're very bullish on the potential of 4800 in the Innovate trial, and we're looking forward to getting the data in the first half of next year with interim readout for efficacy.
So it's confirmed right there. Phase 3 readout will be early next year, with interim readouts between now and then. Imagine the interim readouts are explosive. Then, oh me, oh my.
Oh, hell yeah.
The device will be ready for full commercialization as we move forward for BLA application once we have all of the clinical data at hand.
Question will always be,
Is it explosive?
So we're very confident in our Selectra 5PSP device. We're not specifically stating these different countries until they're approved in those regions, just not to influence those impacts.
Strategy.
Launching the Innovate Phase 3 trial, we expect the first initiation to be next month in September. So we're very excited about our progress. Our partnership is with a vaccine, and we're doing a prime boost trial, we meaning a vaccine and Inovio with Sinovac in 2 different studies in China, and that's what was reported this morning. But you know, I think the 4800 is our primary focus.
Slam dunk. Returned.
Phase 3 trials for 4800, and you know, we talked about the nearness of of this, and we think starting and fully enrolling this trial is extremely important in demonstrating the efficacy of 4800, but also setting up this efficacy data for the full platform. Our primary focus is in 4800 Innovate Phase 3 trial.
Q2 earnings being released after hours meant we had the post-market and pre-market the next day before the next trading session opens. Well, on the next day, the stock dropped 10.78%, traded flat the next day before we saw that massive pop of over 13% on Thursday. What does this mean? From my experience, this simply means after earnings release, there was some overreaction, either by accident or by design. There was clearly huge selling pressure. But why, since the earnings and earnings call was actually paving the way for Inovio to explode? Well, I think the shorts must have known they were in some trouble, so had to short or double down even more. That can be clearly seen in the reported FINRA short volume as shown on Fintel. We can see that on the 10th of August, the first trading day after earnings, the short volume ratio shot up to a disgusting 57%. Clearly, it is not the retail investors dumping millions of shares. Then what? The hedge funds and institutions with short positions either doubled down on these or actually sold out their long positions in Inovio, which is highly unlikely. Why? Well, we do not have the data to see what went down yet, as these are lagging metrics, but what we do have are the past institutional ownership, as noted on Fintel. Back in February, the institutional ownership was at 41.81%, but today it is noted at 47.3%, meaning over a 13% increase in institutional ownership. I cannot see big institutional owners selling out of Inovio on this earnings call. So I think we all know where the selling points to. Look at the short volume ratio on the 12th of August when we saw the big rally pop of 13%. The short volume ratio dropped to 33% on the day. Do you see what I see? Once Inovio releases the next big news, and if the retail and institutional buying increases, we will see the short volume decrease. And then what? The stock is going to have a strong chance of flying to new explosive highs. To summarize, this Q2 earnings was sick. It should have given the stock a big pop on earnings day. It did not, but it did recover and then some on Thursday. I still believe there are dark forces holding down Inovio, but I believe it's only a matter of time to commercialization, and when we get there, the shorts will be vaporized and we will see Inovio reach all-time triple-digit highs. Thanks for watching, and do note Inovio for me represents one of the strongest WPG stocks in my portfolio, so please take this drill with precaution and always do your own due diligence. If you are interested in other WPG stocks that I have in my Freedom portfolio, please check out my other videos and consider just consider subscribing to my channel so you can get a little pop-up when a new video is uploaded. I am a simple trader and I try to keep this fairly simple, and will simply see you next time.